Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a beautiful arabesque position with your leg hooked on the Spanset, and I'm also going to show you a transition out of it through a hanging straddle, so a straddle hanging from your hands, and into a high back balance. This is a really pretty little sequence of moves that are nice together and flow together really well, I think, and it's just a fun one. It's a real fun one. But before we get started, I will just remind you guys to please subscribe to my channel because it really makes a difference with the YouTube algorithm. And when you subscribe, you will see the new tutorials that I put up every week when I stay on schedule. So make sure that you do subscribe and hit the like button and all those good things because they really help me out. All right, moving on to pro tips. My first pro tip is to try to straighten your top leg. Because of the way it's wrapped around the hoop and the Spanset, it's not going to be possible to 100% straighten it, but try to straighten as much as you can. The straighter it is, the nicer this position is going to look. My second pro tip is to point, quotation marks, your foot. You can't fully point your foot because it needs to be wrapped around the Spanset, but try to at least curl your toes slightly to give it that slightly pointed look, because that's going to lengthen your line and make your leg look prettier. And my third pro tip is to arch your back in your straddle position. Of course, you have to keep your hips back behind the hoop for stability and security, but if your back is arched, it's going to look much nicer and look more of a pretty controlled position. If your back is rounded, it's going to look a bit meh. So try to arch that back. And those were your pro tips, so now let's break it down. We're going to start in a knee hang hawks position on the top bar. Reach up and place your hands on the side top of the hoop, so not all the way on the top. Leave a little bit of space between your knees and your hands. And take one leg out, bring it through the center of the hoop, and extend it behind you. Next up, you're going to lift that back leg and put your foot wrapped around the front of the Spanset. This is the slightly tricky transitional moment in this combination because you're going to next straighten the knee that is still hooked on the top of the hoop, bring it behind the Spanset, flex your foot slightly so that you can hook it around the back of the Spanset. The Spanset should be touching the outside of your foot. And remember to try to straighten that knee. As you're doing that, your other leg comes down and behind you. You can either keep it straight or do a little bend with it like I'm doing here, which I think looks really pretty. But when you're ready, you're going to bend down that top leg and rehook the top of the hoop. Bring the back leg through the center of the hoop. But instead of rehooking the back leg, you're actually going to bring it into the side. It should be touching the side of the hoop and your arm. Bring your other leg straight and then out to the side as well, and you are in your straddle position. Remember again to keep your hips well behind the hoop, knees straight, and both legs should be touching your arms as they're holding the sides of the hoop. When you're ready, you're going to start to bring your legs up and then slide your hips down, sliding your legs against the top of the hoop and bringing your shoulders a little forward so that you end up with the bottom of the hoop on your upper back. From there, I'm taking one leg off and crossing it over, bending it, and it gives me just a really pretty, fun back balance position. From your back balance, obviously you can get back into the hoop, you can continue your choreography as you like. Here's the whole thing again in real time so you can see how it works. I really like this as a little flow. I think it goes together nicely and you use different parts of the hoop in an interesting way. And before I finish, I'll just remind you one more time to please do subscribe, please like videos. It makes a real difference and I really appreciate it. And with that, I will see you guys next time.